got some local pickled onions, some local cheese, and some tomatoes from my neighbor's garden, and some pistachios from Walmart. Pretty dang good. So this beam, I've got to figure out how to connect it up here and measure it. You know, kind of hold the thing up and measure where in the world I'm supposed to cut it. And so I came up with this plan. Put a nail in one side like that. And then once it's over the ridge, it'll hook. I'll be able to draw a line up. I'll be able to go down here and draw where the notch goes. Let's see if this works. Bam. Cool. I don't even know if that's the right angle because I still have to notch the bottom. Man, I don't know. What the heck? Why don't they give instructions on this stinking thing? Oh my goodness gracious. What the heck is a man to do? I got a little bit of a problem on my hands. So, this angle, well, and this might take a second to explain, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So this board is resting up here, which means it needs to drop. This whole thing needs to come down, and this peak piece needs to rest right here. And so it means it will drop this distance. This part only needs to drop this much. It needs to be notched. So if this drops half the distance of that, then that means that if I cut these as they're marked, then they'll actually end up being askew. They won't be right on because there will be just a very slight, you know, maybe 1 degree or something like that. So what I've got to figure out, maybe what I do is I lift this one so that the total height is the same as the total height of that drop, and then I scribe the line. Maybe that's the answer? I don't know. This is a real tricky problem. I think I got her figured out. So I've put this up onto this beam, and well, I was just looking through and I'm thinking, okay, so it's got to be the same angle as the roof. And so I'm just lining it up with that, just putting it on top of there. And I think it's enough I rescribe that line, and then I rescribe this one. That should fit, right? Because then it would just come over and then down. I think that will work, so that's what I'll do now. Alright, so we gotta measure to 20 feet. Look at this, everybody. I kind of hook my arm in here. Right on the button. I guess it could, maybe just a skosh more. Maybe just a skosh. It's really sketchy. Balancing on this little board. It's kind of cool. too. I'm never going to be up here again. I would never have any reason to be up here over the fireplace. Ah, we got to get her pinned into place. So the point of that whole ordeal is to make sure that I've got to have a 6-inch gap, 6.5-inch gap right there that needs to line up with a 6.5-inch gap up here. And so if this board isn't secured or centered, or that it's not in the right place, say with the walls, then I might measure this distance out to the board, pin it into the place, but then have to push the whole thing out anyways. So long story short, this is straight now. We've got 20 feet from there to there, and we've got exactly 20 feet from there to there. And now I can start setting all these beams into place. I've got my template, which is down right there, and I'm using that to cut this, and I've kind of got a method. So tomorrow I'll try to go through, get as many of these done as I can, and that will give me the opportunity to lay this tarp on top of something that's more solid instead of it kind of drooping. It's getting, you know, water humps in it and leaking through these, like, you know, duct tape patches, and it's leaking. This will feel great once I get this thing covered with these beams. I think it's gonna look really nice too. Good morning to you. Today I'm gonna be putting up 3 more of these beams along this side and 5 along here to make a total of 10. That's my goal. And so we'll see how this thing goes. It's looking good. It looks very Scandinavian. The connection between these pieces, I mean, it looks really good, like it's gonna be solid. And here's the view from the loft. So let's get to work. Doesn't that look like a cinematic shot?
It does.
The yellow makes me